Okay, first of all, this is just I want to make a quick collection update. I got a new system, well, new to me. I got two new bookcases, so I can actually have my collection in the background. And let's see. Finally figured out why my headset kept cutting out. Uh, let's start with the optical media first. GameCube's the quickest, I only got 4. Okay, let's see. Of course, we got Star Fox Adventures. Okay, I like it. I mean, it's not the best Star Fox game on the planet, but I don't think it's the worst either. Now, if you actually look into it, I mean, it was technically a separate game that was being developed for the Japanese Nintendo 64 market that never saw the light of day, called Dinosaur Planet. Fast forward, they retrofitted it for GameCube, shoved Star Fox in there, shoved the R-Wing in there, and take it for what it is. It's still a good game. Okay, enough reviewing. No label, because this I got when I bought my GameCube at a pawn shop. Came with a controller, which that kind of went within a week, sadly. Memory card and the system. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's too bright to see. It's Midway Arcade Treasures Volume 1. I'm like, it's a little arcade compilation. For the most part, I don't need it. I'll get to that in a little bit. Metroid Prime. This would be complete in box if I had the Echoes bonus disc, which I don't. Finding Nemo, which anyone that's seen my past videos know I got in my September 2020 Retro Game Treasure box. And of course, that's it for the GameCube, so we'll put these back. And I try to keep everything in alphabetical order. Let's see. Next is the PlayStation 2 library in Oive. That's I think individually probably the biggest chunk of my collection on a platform-to-platform basis. And that is my PS2 library so far. Okay, first, the original Devil May Cry. Yeah, funny story. It originally didn't start off as Devil May Cry. It started off as Resident Evil 4. Pretty sure anyone could tell what this is. Final Fantasy X. Amazing game. And the sequel, Final Fantasy X Part 2. And we got Final Fantasy 12. I'm just going to try and breeze through these because how many there are. This was a gift from a friend who's out of town right now. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Yeah, says on the back it supports multi-tap for 4 players. Well, too bad I don't have enough people to really do that. That would be fun though. I only got like one friend who typically comes over. The original God of War, still an amazing game. Oh, and if it's doable in December, I'm going to try and get the HD component cables for the PlayStation 2. So hopefully the capture footage on these will be a little better. The original Guitar Hero. I love the game. The only thing I don't like are the hammer-ons and pull-offs. They were not executed all that well in the first game. Big Shock, Guitar Hero 2, amazing game. This is when the hammer-ons and pull-offs got better. Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. And the one I'm currently working on, Guitar Hero 5. Has a song by one of my favorite metal bands, Children of Bodom. Amazing group. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. One of 3 band-centric games, I guess I call them. It's only Van Halen and Metallica. Guitar Hero Encore rocks the 80s. Some people hate this. I love it. I love 80s music. In particular, I like Churning Japanese by the Vapors. I drove my ex nuts with that song. Marvel's Iron Man. I like the game. Cutscenes were detailed enough, I guess. Because, of course, most people know back then the video game adaptation is usually being developed at the same time the movie is. And I don't know what information they have to go off from the movie studio. My friend did point out one scene that they did kind of screw up. I'm like, maybe they just like had a description of the scene and not actual footage, so they tried to approximate it to the best they could. Anyone who's seen the movie knows the scene where the F-22 Raptors are chasing Iron Man and he deploys his air brakes and snaps one of their wings off. Yeah, apparently he just sent the whole plane flying wing intact and everything. I like the game for what it is. Jaws Unleashed. For those of you who are still in the modern gaming, I guess Maneater would be the closest equivalent you're going to get to this. Personally, I like this. It's fun just to swim around and eat people. As sociopathic as that sounds. The original Kingdom Hearts. Amazing game. That friend who's out of town actually found this at a Goodwill. Complete in box and everything. It plays good too. And the last one I got in my October Retro Game Treasure box. It was brand new in the shrink wrap, but of course I had to remove it because I play my games. Come here, you. Okay. I kept them in order. Imagine that. Okay, next, the Wii. There's another love it or hate it game system. I mean, I like it. I mean, some games are better than others. Okay. Now, I've probably only seen about 15 minutes of the anime, but I mean, I like this game for what it is. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Meets Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. It's weird. It's fun though. Maybe I might do a video on it someday. Now, not the best version of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but I think it's worth it just for the intuitive aiming. Now, here's another love it or hate it game, depending on who you talk to. I mean, the chief complaint I hear is about Samus taking orders from somebody. I mean, if you actually look into her backstory, she used to take orders from people, so, I mean, it's not that weird, not my opinion. But the thing I like about this is that I'm not a fan of the nunchuck. The cord gets damaged way too easily, at least on all the ones I've had. This doesn't need it. I mean, I love how they managed to squeeze all, everything just into the standard Wiimote. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Yeah, I got part 1 on the GameCube. I'm missing part 2. Got part 3 on the Wii. I'd buy the trilogy, but it's too expensive. And I don't do digital. Yeah, although that's a hypocrisy coming from me. I have a Steam account with I forget how many games. Rampage Total Destruction. I can't say I love it. I can't say I hate it either. The Wii controls, I don't think were done all that well. I think they were just kind of shoehorned in. But it does have Rampage World Tour and the original Rampage, both arcade editions on here, so I think it's worth it just for that. Okay, now these are going to be out of order because everything's alphabetized. And Skylanders Giants, Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, Skylanders Trap Team. I still need the Traptanium Portal, or I can't actually even play that. Ooh, I love this, but the difficulty is infuriating. I love Star Wars. I want to love it. But the difficulty drives me bonkers. And October Retro Game Treasure, Tron Battle Grids minigame compilation. I'm trying to make this as short as I can. I've got a feeling this could be a lengthy video. Now for the successor to the Wii, which, again, this is I think this is an amazing system for what it was. I mean, if you've never played a Wii U, I highly recommend it. You'll actually see where they got the idea for the Switch. I mean, there's a staggering amount of Switch games that were originally Wii U titles. Mario Kart 8. Of course, you can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch. It's basically the same game. I love that game. Oh, remember the Midway Arcade Treasures? Minecraft Wii U Edition was in the Wii U when I bought it. In case anyone decides to ask, I got the was a 16 or the 32 gig deluxe one, the black Wii U. And like, yeah, they had the white and the black. I'm like, give me the black. Skylanders Imaginators, which that is the last game in the, I don't know, what do you call a series with only 6 games? Skylanders Superchargers. Yeah, I basically got the starter kit. I bought it used, though, for a good price. And I love Turbocharged Donkey Kong because he doubles as an amiibo. Skylanders Swap Force. I like Toys to Life stuff. I like games with gimmick controls. I don't know why. I mean, I like light guns. I like rhythm games with instrument controllers. I mean, I want to get the Disney Infinity stuff. I just haven't gotten around to it. Splatoon. Don't have internet right now, but for anyone who's interested in the original Splatoon on Wii U, the servers are still up and running. People are still playing this to this day. I played a few games. I lost a few games. I won a couple, but I had fun while I was doing it. I mean, Now, this is perhaps the greatest thing about a Wii U. Breath of the Wild. I did have a Switch. I got rid of it after Nintendo confirmed they were working on a new system. I'm like, okay, I'm done. No more modern gaming for me. I can't keep up with it. It's too expensive. And the Joy-Con drift. Yeah, okay, the Nintendo 64 analog stick may wear out quickly, but I'll take a worn out 64 stick over the Joy-Con drift. Twilight Princess HD. Now, for anyone playing on Switch who has an actual Wolf Link amiibo, the only way to increase his hearts from the standard 3 up to 20 is there's some type of a dungeon or event. I haven't gotten there, so I'm not too familiar with what it is. In Twilight Princess HD for Wii U, that'll let you permanently increase the amiibo's heart count. Right now, I don't need it. I got some very nice NFC tag cards that just coincidentally has a maxed out Wolf Link. ZombiU. Yeah, this is what I was doing on Halloween. I like the game. I still think it's neat. If you die, you spawn as an entirely new survivor, and you have to find your corpse to get your stuff back. Oops. I try to keep them in order. It doesn't always work. Yep. Apparently it happened to the... I'll fix them later. Doesn't take me that long. Give me something to do. Okay, now for the new system I got my hands on. Which, conveniently, I got it for like $105.99 after tax and shipping. Came with a bunch of games. Yeah, bowling game, AMF Bowling 2004. Came with a bunch of sports games. Like I said, I'm not a big fan, but I play with them every once in a while. The original Xbox. Oh, in case anyone doesn't know, some modder out there is actually working to reverse engineer the original Xbox Live. They're calling it Project Insignia. I mean, there are some requirements to get it to work if he succeeds. Anyone who... All you gotta do is... apparently, you need to get the encryption keys for your Xbox's hard drive, which the 2 games required for soft modding your system will actually enable you to get those keys. But I don't know anything other than that at the moment, personally. I hope it works. I hope Microsoft's okay with it. I mean, there's a bunch of us that wouldn't mind playing the original Xbox Live again. I got to experience it a few years before they terminated it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Fable: The Lost Chapters. I'm working on that right now. Fun game. Halo 2 Limited Collector's Edition. Complete in box with everything it originally came with, the bonus DVD, and apparently an ad for a Mountain Dew Slurpee with limited collector's edition cups. That's interesting. Madden 06. Madden 2004. MVP Baseball 2005. NCAA Football 2003. NHL 06. NHL 2002. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Never saw the movie, but so far I like what I've played of the game. I mean, I wish I could comment on the third-person King Kong battles, but I've not gotten that far yet. Shrek. Now here's my thing. This is, let's see, who made you? TDK, no wonder. I will say this. I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was a better adaptation from the movie than this was. It's not like this is a bad game. I just think the physics for how Shrek runs is a little off. He's way too fast for someone with so much mass. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005. Ghost Recon Island Thunder. This is the last time I'm doing a complete collection. From now on, just recent acquisitions. Splinter Cell. Ironically, one of the two games required to get your encryption keys. This and MechAssault. Now, these two don't have the original cases. This is how they came. We got iNinja in the green case and Disney's The Haunted Mansion in the clear case. Ugh. I feel like a yo-yo. Up, down, up, down, up, down. We'll straighten these up later. Okay. Get the last 5 pieces of optical media out of the way, and then we'll move on to the cartridges. Sorry if I'm not more entertaining. I'm trying to work on that. Okay, I got one PSP game, but I don't have a PSP that's in working order. Rush. I let my friend who actually has a PSP play it. He described it as Grand Theft Auto with only you stay in your car the whole time. I'm like, interesting. The most valuable game in my collection. I price charted this thing. Its first production run, complete in box, perfect condition. It's about 114 bucks. Final Fantasy IX. Funny story about one of the discs in here. Sorry. Discs, this case has seen better days. The discs don't sit in there tightly anymore. Disc 2. I don't know if you can see that, but there's no face on the disc. Now, if it belonged in this case, let's see, hang on. Got a picture of Zidane's face on the disc. I found out why. I checked the SLUS Sony identification code on the disc. That's a greatest hits disc. Whoops, not done with these yet. Okay, yeah, I only have 4 PlayStation games for right now. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, card game, not much else to say about it. Legend of Dragoon, another funny story. This is greatest hits on the case. But I was curious that, because I've never seen most greatest hits games in the PlayStation era have as much full color artwork on the discs as these do. I looked into it. I looked up some loose discs on eBay for sale. The case is greatest hits, but those discs are not greatest hits discs. The greatest hits discs have a monochrome artwork. They're the same basic image, but it's all like grayscale. There's no color to it. I have first production run discs in a greatest hits case. Yeah, feel free to comment on that. It's crazy. Okay, time for the minuscule Nintendo collection. I get new stuff every month, so depending on how many views this gets, I might do some updated, like, new acquisition videos. Top Gun, Retro Game Treasure. Zelda. Now, if you look on price charting sites, you look up the 5-screw model, it's actually worth a little more than the 3-screw model. I still highly recommend people play this and beat this. It's a fun game. You can go to nesmaps.com to actually get maps for the overworld, show you where everything is, the dungeons for both quests. Although, that just takes having to find out where it is on your own. It doesn't take away any of the challenge from the combat. TMNT 2, the arcade game. Now, I actually have a Pandora's Box arcade console up there, which contains the arcade version of that game. If anyone's interested, I might do a comparison video someday. Classic and probably the cheapest cartridge in my collection, the Mario Duck Hunt cart. Playing on a flat screen, can't use Duck Hunt. Mario works, works fine. Now one of my favorite games that I don't know why more people don't play, Monster Party. Fun game. And one of my personal favorite channels, Cinemassacre on James and Mike Mondays, did a 2-parter on this. I mean, heck, AVGN, James and Mike Mondays, the folks at Cinemassacre and the folks at GameSack, I love them. Watch their stuff if you haven't already. Captain Skyhawk. Believe it or not, Rare did this. Yeah, it says Milton Bradley, but Rare was the developer. They just published it. And the addictive Russian puzzle game, which they're still making to this day. Yeah, From Russia with Fun. I don't know if you... No, you probably can't see it. It actually says From Russia with Fun on that blue triangle on the bottom. Well, good news is for the actual games, we're almost done. Let's see, got a couple Famicom, 1 DS game, and a stack of 64 games. I love my bookcases. I don't know why I waited so long to get those. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Jet Force Gemini, another Rare game. Rare isn't developer, and that Rare isn't worth anything. WCW NWO Revenge, Retro Game Treasure. Wave Race 64, which is the second of the Wave Race trilogy. That's what I'm calling it, because to my knowledge, they never made a 4th game. Cruis'n USA, another Retro Game Treasure game. And perhaps the greatest Star Fox game of all time, Star Fox 64. Now we got 2 Famicom games. I'm just going to give you the English translations. I'm getting tongue-tied saying the Japanese names all the time. This one is referred to as Kitaro of the Graveyard. 60s manga and anime, redone several times over, turned into a game. And Jajamaru's Great Adventure. Fun little game. And Wizards of Waverly Place, I did not pay for this. I went to my local used game store, and they were giving this away with a Nintendo DS carrying case. And I decided, I'm like, you know what? It's free. I'm going to buy a DS eventually. Now, all the games I have the systems for, except for the one PSP and the one Nintendo DS game. Yeah, little mini backpack carrying case. It's got plenty of room in it, slots for games, compartments hold your chargers, and other doodads. And I got bored and stuck a Final Fantasy X pin on it. Now, let's see. We got Alleyway for Game Boy. Dr. Mario from Game Boy. Last month's Retro Game Treasure. Pokemon Blue. I'm eventually going to get a new label for that. It's a little beat up. Tetris for Game Boy. September Retro Game Treasure. And the first Wave Race game. Now, oh yeah, I forgot about those. Come here. Yeah, I got stuff on the tippy top even if you can't see it. My tiny Atari 2600 collection, which I think are all good games. I got Asteroids. I got Berserk. Fun arcade game. Wish my Pandora's Box had it. Pac-Man. Believe it or not, I actually have the manual for this. It came with my Atari, which I'll get to that in a minute. Just because what it came with is cool. Vanguard. This one has probably got the nicest label amongst them. Yeah, the Atari can't be used right now because apparently modern flat screens, the analog tuner is not compatible with the signal from an Atari 2600. You can get around it by hooking up a VCR with the AV composite out. To your TV to act as a demodulator. Yeah, I got this for 30 bucks. It says Atari Game Center on it. The four switch model. Now I was just recently able to finally test this to see if it would actually power on, as old as this thing is. I mean, it's in spotless condition. There's not a scratch on the darn thing. But I've had it for almost 2 months, unable to test it. Well, I can finally confirm it does work. It's just the TV's analog tuner is apparently not compatible with the signal. Now, if you look up, you can find what's called a Type F male coax to female RCA adapter. Screws in the cable port in your television set. Well, it's not going to work by itself on a modern flat screen because the built-in analog tuner is not compatible with its signal. Now, if you get an old VCR with the AV composite out, you can hook it into the VCR. It can handle the signal and transfer it through a composite cable to the TV. Which, not only if I do that will I be able to play it, I'll actually be able to capture footage on that because of my RetroTank 2X line doubler. I mean, you can't plug composite cables into my capture device, but the RetroThink is HDMI, so whatever goes in it, I can plug in with HDMI, which is wonderful. This did have a first-party controller. The circuit board is shot. I got to get a replacement for it. Basically, all that was wrong with it, you couldn't hit down on it. I mean, I tried cleaning it, just everything they recommend. Yeah, I got a bunch of papers with it too. A bunch of old Atari game catalogs. A bunch of them just have the same red cover. Let's see what else. Mattel Network games list. The Pac-Man manual. Now for Atari, you really want the manuals. I mean, most games from the third generation on later, you can get by without them. Let's see, I also got one for Space Attack, M-Network game. Home Run, a little baseball game. Combat. See, for those that didn't grow up with this like I did, you got these two difficulty switches and game select for different game modes. Now, if you've never played the game or had the manual, you're not going to know what the differences between all these game modes are. That's why you really want the manuals if you've never had one or your memory's really bad like mine. Well, I'm happy to say the thing does work. I paid $30 for it. I love my local game store. We're almost done. I'm not showing all my systems. Just new stuff or stuff you haven't seen already. I'm gonna do that because that's gonna tip over if I don't. Now, if anyone's interested, I can do some gameplay for this. Pandora's Box HDMI arcade controller, built-in games. Yeah, Street Fighter fan. Had to get the one where you want it. Oh, these are hard to find in a one-player configuration. Usually you find them, they're like 2 players, all like built in one unit. I mean, I live by myself. I only have like one friend come over, and trust me, we don't want to be fighting for elbow room. Now, just some recent hardware acquisitions, which is like all but 3 things, really. I recently got the Red Octane Guitar Hero microphone, apparently built by Logitech. Now, I plugged this into my laptop. I did some audio samples with a voice recorder on the laptop, one with the headset mic, one with this. Believe it or not, this actually is better microphone quality than this expensive Logitech G933 headset. So, I mean, I might get a microphone stand and actually use this for my videos because, 1, it's a hands-free mic. 2, I don't have to wear this thing and make my head sweat. It's definitely got a long enough cable. Now, I got one other mic, but I don't feel the need to show you that. It's just a EA SingStar mic. You can look it up if you're interested in what it is. I think it feels cheaper. It's literally like half of the weight of that one. It feels hollow. Yeah, up until recently, I've been playing all my Guitar Hero games, minus Part 5, because you can't play it with a standard controller without a guitar. So I went on eBay and picked this thing up. Now, about the PlayStation 3 one where the receiver says it works on PlayStation 1 and 2. I'm gonna call bullcrap on that. Why? I got one from my game store. We tested it. The receiver did not light up at all. Not even you know, where the receiver's light's blinking, they'll let you know it's looking for a signal. Not even that. Thought it was bad. Had a friend order a new one. I felt bad for having him do that. But, you know, that one didn't work either. I'm like, okay, what the heck? So, long story short, after fiddling with both of them, because at that point I had two of the receivers, I decided to plug in the laptop. Lo and behold, they work on the laptop, but not on the PlayStation 2. The receiver says PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. No. It's hit and miss. I mean, I've read it. It wants to work on some PS2s, but not others. It works on a PlayStation 3 just fine. So, if you have a PlayStation 2, just save yourself a potential headache. Steer away from that one. If you got a PlayStation 2, get the older Red Octane one that plugs directly into the controller port. Thing works fine. Really good on batteries, too. I've plowed through the entire first Guitar Hero game and over half of Guitar Hero 5, and Guitar Hero 5 has like 85 songs, and the batteries are still fine. They're not weak or anything. Well, I think that's it for now. This video is over 40 minutes. Hope whoever's watching this, hope you all have a wonderful time. I mean, I wouldn't mind if some of you subscribed if you like my content. I'm going to try to keep pumping it out as often as I can. I should be in a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks depending, getting my November Retro Game Treasure. I will be putting a review up for that. I will be doing an unboxing for that. That's going to be every month. Later.